All right, my little man. Are we going back to Japan this week? Yeah? Are we going to? Yeah, we are, because we're going to be visiting one of Japan's oldest lens manufacturers. Back in the day, they were known as Asahi Optical Company. Asahi Optical Company. And what did they produce? They produced the world famous vintage Takumar 50mm 1.4. This one is a super multi-coated Takumar. I have a super Takumar, super multi-coated Takumar, and an SMC Takumar. Are they any good? Are they? Yeah, they are. Well, let's find out how good. So grab yourself something to eat or drink, get yourself comfortable.
And now for something completely different.
And let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
Ready?
Ready?
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and his co-host Dylan. That's right, Dylan and I back for another week of Camera Talk. And what are we talking about this week, buddy? Just as the intro says, we're going to be looking at one of Vintage World's more famous lenses, and that is the Asahi Takumar. Super Takumar, super multi-coated Takumar, SMC Takumar, 50mm 1.4. They are legendary. A lot of people pay big bucks for them. Is there reason for it? Let's move over here a little bit, buddy. Is there reason for it? Yeah, they're pretty good lenses. You know, Asahi, one of Japan's oldest lens manufacturers, a camera manufacturer as well. They produced a famous camera called the Spotomatic, which the Takumar fit nicely onto the front of. And anyway, they began in 1920 and went all the way through to the 70s before the company changed its name to Pentax, which you may or may not have heard of before, and they're still around today doing DSLRs and so on and so on. They're still surviving in the camera race today. So what we're going to be talking about this week are my Takumar 50mm 1.4s. As I said, I have 3 of them. I just picked the first one I found, which was the super multi-coated Takumar, and I'm going to use that one as my sample. They came in various versions. That's right, I said versions.
You must tie her down on a bed and spank her.
I mean, different ones.
Better.
That's right. Aha.
Mom.
Well, the Auto Takumar, the Takumar itself,
Kitano.
is a conglomerate of different Japanese words that together mean painting with light.
I want to paint you.
Is how they came up with that word. And the Auto Takumar came out in 1958. The Super Takumar, the very first one, came out in 1961, but that's not the 50mm 1.4. That one came out in 1965, the one I have.
8.
That's right, 8. Speaking of 8, there was a version, the very first version, came out in 1964. And that was an 8-element in 6-group configuration. And the whole reason Asahi decided to even build this lens was to compete with the other 50mm 1.4s that were rocking the day at the time, which was Nikon's Nikkor 50mm 1.4, Zeiss, their planar 50mm 1.4, which was rumored at the time to be the best of the best. You had Ernst Lights, later known as Leica,
Mom.
made a Summilux 50 millimeter 1.4. And then we had the Ultron, Voigtlander Ultron. Yeah, 50 millimeter 1.4. And so that's why, Asahi decided they wanted to play the game and say, well, we want to be the best. So they created this 8-element version of the Super Takumar. And it was, again, rumored to be so expensive that once they had produced it and once the rumors got out that it was the planar killer, then after the following year, they backed off on that and created a 7-element in 6-group configuration. They also, at the same time, 1965, what's 1965? What's 1965? You should know by now. That's Daddy's year, that's right. The year Dr. Scott came into this world. Aww. Same with the Big Mac. And Singapore was formed as a country at the time, and so on and so on. Beatles were rocking the world. Anyway, 1965, they producing their lens, the glass itself, baked or doped, as they call it, thorium oxide. What's that? What's thorium oxide? Well, it's a radioactive element. And why were companies using radioactive elements in their glass? Because it increased. What are you doing? It's refractivity and whatnot, and its light transmission. Basically, it's an economical version of improving lens performance.
Cheap bastard.
And they used that all the way through till the 1980s when it was replaced with lanthanum.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
That's how you say it. Which is also a radioactive element, but it's barely, so it doesn't count. Anyway, so 1965 is when the 7-element Takumar came out. Where are you going? Get back up here. The 7-element in 6-group configuration came out, and it had 6 blades originally, and it was 240, 250 grams, something like that. All the way through till 1971, so 65 through 71, single-coated lens, and it was, hey, it was a good lens. And one of the things you may find if you own yourself one, or if you go shopping around from one, you may notice that it has a yellowish brownish tint when you look through the lens, and that's because of the thorium decay. The radioactive decay causes that color. Now all you got to do is put it under a, like back here I have a little UV, well it's not a UV light, it's an LED light, but it has a UV element to it as it radiates its light. And put it under that for a week or so, and voila, you have a nice clear lens again. And I can show you the results of that before and after, right here. And cool, I did it myself, not only with my Takumars, but with other radioactive lenses that I also have in my collection. So anyway, that was the Super Takumar. 50 millimeter, 1.4, 1965, 1971. Then came the super multi-coated Takumar, because now it had 7 layers of coating. And it was, well, pretty short-lived, really, short-lived. 1971 to 1972. So it was around for a year. And, but it had, obviously better coatings and better contrast. And it had 8 blades now instead of 6 aperture blades, and pretty much the same weight. so 250-ish. And then 1972 came SMC Takumar, and of course SMC is just an acronym for super multi-coated. So 72 to 75 is when this version of it came along. So I had three. I have three different versions.
Shit.
Of the same lens. So anyhow, so they're all 7 elements in 6 groups. Their close focus is 45 centimeters, so that's where it's about here. That's pretty good. And like I said, 240, 250 grams, and they're known for being sharp. They are pretty nice, even wide open at 1.4, great for portraiture, as they have pretty decent bokeh, which is the quality of the out of focus background. And if you want super sharpness, f4 all the way through the rest of the range, onward it's sharp. And that was one of the differences between the 8 element and 7 element, to which those who have the 8 element and spent a boatload of money on it will try to argue till their dying day that the 8 element is sharper, it's the best one out there.
Get the fuck out of here.
But head to head, plenty of people testing out there found that the 7 element is actually a tad bit sharper.
What? No.
Now a tad bit, are you gonna really notice that? Posting on Instagram or Facebook? No. But if you're just interested in having one of these lenses, I would recommend getting the 7 element versus the 8 element, because the 8 element is going to cost you an arm and a leg. One of these and one of these. That's right. That could be expensive, right? Otherwise, you'd be funny hopping around with only one leg and one arm. I have to call you Peg. Anyway, what else can we say about it? How about some sample shots? So let's get to what I normally do is, I use a, I was gonna say you don't actually do anything. I use a Canon M50 to record these videos. And what I normally do to test out a lens, not that it's a scientific test, but I try to focus in on the nameplate on the end of the kit lens, the 15 to 45 EFM lens, which is now discontinued, which is kind of insane because it's one of Canon's best sellers. But hey, who am I to argue with Canon and what they want to do? All right, so there is 1.4. 1, 2, 3. And let me get you 5.6 just to show you what that looks like. Yeah, oh yeah, that's super funny, isn't it, buddy? All right, go ahead. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that was 1.4 and 5.6. Again, just to show you what it looks like from here, we're just under 2 meters. So right around 6 feet-ish in American lingo. Yeah.
No.
How about some pictures of Dylan? Want to see some pictures of Dylan?
No.
Oh, no. Well, they're going to see him anyway. So here's Dylan at 50 millimeter, 1.4. So what do you think? Look good? Are you a handsome little man?
Yes.
You're a handsome little man, you dirty hood. And here's Dylan at 5.6. Mm-hmm. What do you think there? You look good there too? Huh? Huh? You look good? Uh-huh. And just to show you that there's other things other than Dylan, you sound like a watermelon. Uh-huh. We'll show you some random stuff. Now these, picnic tables, lakes, kitty cats, other little kids, maybe some black and white, trees, cloudy days, I don't know, whatever. This just to show you what else these lenses can produce. So here's our random stuff at F whatever.
Pole.
All right, so what do you think about that? It looked okay? Yeah, kind of looked okay, right? All right, so that's all we can say about that. Can we recommend them? Yeah, they're legendary for a reason. The
Yes.
Takumars are a great family. Now, of course, this is just a 50. You know, they have some pretty decent other lenses as well, the 85s and the 35s, the 28s, the 135s, and so on and so on. What do I have? I have a 35, I have the 55. I think that's it. Yeah. So anyway, those will be different videos. We'll discuss that. So with all that said, we can recommend them. How about we give our little plug for our photo editing software that I use. I was going to say, I keep saying we. You don't do anything around here besides cause trouble and make your mom upset and yell at you all the time. Don't make mommy angry. And don't call her fat.
So, fat woman, are you the boss around here or what?
Fat woman, my ass!
All right. Luminar. Luminar AI and Luminar Neo. Now they don't use, or they don't sell AI anymore, but
Like big butts and I cannot lie.
Luminar Neo is a combination of AI and Luminar 4, so now Luminar Neo is their thing. Well, what is AI? It's full of AI. What is AI? Huh? What does AI mean?
Don't know. No,
You don't know. You liar. Sao quá. Big liar in Vietnamese. So, how about you guess? 1, 2, 3. No! You smart ass. It's not that. It's artificial intelligence.
Don't know.
That's right. You don't know. So anyway, it's full of artificial intelligence. It has spot dust removal. So you have spots in your photos that you don't want there. It can analyze them and get rid of them for you. Versus things that are supposed to be there, like birds and whatnot. It won't take those out. Power line removal. Hey, power lines a lot of times ruin your shot, right? And you have to brush them out. You know, in Lightroom or something else, you brush, and it takes time. This, you just click on the button. AI analyzes it, identifies those power lines, and takes them out for you. Pretty cool, huh? Has background removal. It has, what else? Scene relighting, meaning it can actually, if it's lit from this side, which you'd rather have it lit from this side, it can move. Now, of course, it's not like a spotlight, but it'll brighten that one side more than the other. And that's pretty cool, right? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Oh, you're showing me your heart sign? Oh, today's Vietnamese Women's Day. So I had to make a flower for mommy and stuff. Show you that in the, oh, you already saw his pictures. So anyway, so can we recommend this? Yeah, it's economical. It's under $100. If you click below, or not click below. If you look below in the description, there's a link there. Click on that. It takes you to Luminar. You purchase Luminar through that link, and it will deduct $10. $10 off. It's a nice discount. So if it's $90, it's $80. If it's $80, it's $70. You know, whatever it is these days. And what do they do with that $10? What do they do with that $10? Well, they give it to us. Yeah. And why do they give it to us? Because we went through the problem. Well, not problem. Went through the what's it called? The effort.
I'm not going to be a mule. I got something to do. I got to go do boom, boom, boom.
To tell everybody about Luminar. And what do they call that in the business? They call that kickback. Yeah, kickback. So, sit in the middle. Come up. And so yeah, get yourself a copy of Luminar. It's worth it. Let's see, what else can we talk about? How about we get everybody to sponsor us, right? And we don't mean sending money or anything, but sponsor us by subscribe. How about this hand? Subscribe. And how about two hands? Your two hands, my two hands? Subscribe. Yeah, subscribe. Well, what else does YouTube like besides subscribers? Well, they like thumbs up, right? So, I know your girlfriends are the thumbs up girls. How about we give them a taste of the thumbs up girls? Before we show them, how about you want to join me in a little thumbs up girl preview? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up. Do 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 do. Thumbs up. Yeah. All right. So that's the thumbs up, girls. What else can we say? Who are we? Well, I'm Dr. Scott. You're Dylan.
Here's Johnny.
And together we are all Modesty Photography. We're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, lenses, camera systems, techniques of things, technical issues. What do you want to know about photography? You can leave a comment in the section below if you want to know something specifically. Other than that, should they come back next week? You think they should come back? Yeah. Why? Because as I tell my students at school, you belong here. That's right. And where do they belong? What's the name of this show? Huh? What's the name of this show? This was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan. That's right. And Dylan. So thank you for dropping by. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for buying a copy of Luminar through our link. Thank you for hanging out this long. I know it's a long video. That's all we do here is long videos.
You suck.
And thank you for just being you. That's right. Thank you for that, buddy. Helping out at the last second. So we do one of these every Friday. That's Vietnam time. So it could be the day after you, the day before you, or the same day as you. Depends where you are in the world, right? You didn't know time could be that flexible, did you? So anyway, we will see you in the next episode. So have a nice day. You ready to say bye-bye?
Bye.
All right, 1, 2, 3, bye-bye.
Here I am,